again. Fella, don't forget to tell a friend tips are coming in. The Super Sport Bet is here to make sense of all of the chances that you get. I sound again. Fella, don't forget to tell a friend tips are coming in. The odds in your favor, gotta stop playing. Just don't forget to tell a friend. I sound again. Tips are coming in. With Super Sport Bet, your chance to win. I sound again.
Well, folks, the one thing you know about watching Supersport on any given weekend is that the hits will keep coming. And from a sports betting perspective, we're right here on the Playbook, proudly powered by Supersport Bet, to give you some guidance, which must mean that Lucky is in the house. Let's just check if he is here. Lucky, 37,000 Rand balance. Wow.
You know, Neil, I'm a bit upset because I lost 1,000 a couple of weeks ago, but I have a feeling I'm going to be tripling that 1,000 and making close to 5,000 Rand, you know, addition on what's here. Josta Lucky, I'll loan you something.
You know what? No disrespect to some of my other guests, but I like this coupling because this man still cashed in when you got the FA Cup underdog right?
Yeah. You know, I always go for the crazy ones when people are like, yeah, are you sure Man City's going to lose? And I'm like, I'm going for that. You know, I always go for the ones.
Well, you go for the value as well, don't you?
That's what I always look at.
Okay.
And then, most of the time, I'm lucky. So
I must say, it's a bit. We've got a bit of the feel of the movies today because you guys are men in black. You're looking like you're ready for business. But anyway, let's get straight into it because what we are going to do on the show is we're going to talk about Nedbank. We've got Nedbank on the weekend. I've got a golf bet. And then in part two, we're going to look about Premier League action where there's some value. And I've got a little birdie that's telling me that my man Lucky here is actually putting some money on my team. We shall find out in part two. But let's start out with Nedbank. What's coming up on the weekend?
You know, I'm looking at a game, Marumo Gallants versus Amazulu. Last week, Marumo Gallants went to Durban, lost 2 games. That means they dropped 6 points. And one of those games, they lost to Amazulu 2-0. So now Amazulu going to Bloemfontein to Marumo Gallants. I see a revenge from Marumo Gallants, especially how sweet it will be in the Nedbank Cup. Marumo Gallants will win this game. And to prove that I'm 100% sure with what I'm telling you now, I'm going to put 500 Rand and I super sport bet on it, Marumo win in the Nedbank Cup.
Well, I just want to analyze what's going on there in the domestic league because with the drama around Royal AM, that is buffered. I mean, it looks like that they're going to going to get relegated, which means that whoever finishes second from the bottom will go into the playoffs. So Marumo, from their point of view, they've got that buffer. They're not going to be automatically relegated, but they need to improve their form. And you're saying this weekend is a break from the Premiership. And they can focus on Nedbank glory.
And you know the nice thing is that when you perform very well in the cup game, it can filter into the league. So I count on them to perform very well at home. So, and you know, Siwelele fans, they say Marumo Siwelele.
No, Amazulu is different, Bafethu. When they wait, Marumo Gallants are relegated.
Do you know Dendens? Do you know Dendens?
My experience, guys, Josta, you haven't been here for a while since you cleaned up in the FA Cup. My experience on this show, and viewers will recognize this, don't mess with Lucky. That's why he's got 36,838.
Tell him to look at the balance.
Yeah, exactly. That's all we have to look at. But having said that, your balance is looking pretty healthy, 10,000. What are you going to do with it? You're also going to look at Nedbank Cup this weekend?
Yeah, I'm looking at my old team playing against Kaizer Chiefs, playing against Cheaper. And, you know, I always go for... friends are going to kill me one day.
I'm already staring at you, dog.
I'm going to go with Cheaper winning this one. Not because, like... people might think I hate Chiefs, but Cheaper has been doing well, you know? Yes, Chiefs is playing at home, but I'm going to put my 1,000 Rand on 1,000 Rand, right? 1,000 Rand on Cheaper winning this. So I super sport bet on Cheaper winning this game.
This man forgot that FNB, 50,000 fans. Cheaper will be hearing vuvuzelas. They won't be able to connect.
Just to balance that out, so you're saying it's interesting. So Josta doesn't like your bet, you don't like his bet. But will Chiefs win, or would you go for a draw?
No, Chiefs will win.
Oh, they will.
Playing at home. And coming from a win also in the league.
They haven't been doing that. The thing about it, they always concede, you know? That's the problem with me. And then cheaper ones, you're not going to come back from that.
Well, the one thing is we've seen some upsets in the Premiership, haven't we? Because we saw, for example, the Galaxy beat Sundowns last Monday.
Yeah.
So there are some surprises out there.
It's a cup of dreams. And I have a feeling that because Chiefs started so low, they'll want to see themselves in the final this season with somebody else maybe who wants to take it for the third time but won't get there.
Okay, guys, I'm going to just throw in some golf here because you know I love my golf. Scotty Scheffler, and I did warn everybody last year, you know, he had this, what they're calling it, the ravioli gate, because during Christmas he was making ravioli and I think a knife or something got into his palm. Anyway, bottom line, I don't think he's back at his best, but Rory McIlroy is. So we've got the Genesis Invitational outright. The other story is Tiger was hoping to come back, but sadly, of course, he had a bereavement in the family. His mother passed away, so no Tiger. But for me, Scheffler hasn't quite struck his straps yet. And so for me, Rory McIlroy at 7-1, 7.0 is the play. So I've got a spare 800, as it were.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to just put it on the nose. I really like the way. I think it could be a big year for Rory. Throwing forward the Open, the British Open this year's back in Northern Ireland. So I think he really was exceptional the other day.
Before you make your bet,
Yes.
is he healed?
Scotty?
Is he healed?
Well, it's healed, but you know, you can't practice for 2 months. So I'm talking about Scotty Scheffler now. His game, so the back nine on the final day, I think he was 4 over.
Yeah.
And to me, that's not good enough form. McIlroy, on the other hand, absolutely trotted up the other day at Pebble Beach.
As long as he can hold the club.
I'm impressed. I didn't know that you understand golf.
No, as long as he can hold the club.
Well, that's a success. So that's what I'm going to do.
I'm learning, dog. I'm learning.
I'm going to have 800 Rand to win on Rory McIlroy at the Genesis Invitational. And you know, it's the Genesis. So in the beginning, Neil had 800 Rand on Rory McIlroy to win the Genesis, and I super sport bet on it.
No. The confidence. I like the confidence.
It's confident. I'm just warming up. Wait until you see my Premier League.
Tiger's not there.
Only because Tiger's not there.
there.
Because you know, remember Tiger and his team, they won some tournament now.
Yes,
Very nice golfers.
Yeah.
So, no.
That's a bit of a marketing exercise.
I agree with you. Yeah. No, I saw that marketing exercise. Outstanding.
Very good. So that's it. There we go. The Nedbank bets. You heard it. Josta likes Chipper, and Lucky doesn't. And Lucky likes Marumo Gallants, and Josta doesn't. So they will settle the argument. We'll see what it does to their balances. Stay with us. Coming up after the break on the Playbook, proudly powered by SuperSport Bet, we turn our attention to the Premier League in England.
SuperSport Bet, your chance to win. I sound again.
Part 2 of the Playbook, proudly powered by SuperSport Bet. Well, now, as promised, we shift our attention to the Premier League in England. Wow, what a game it was on Wednesday night. The last Merseyside derby at Goodison Park, and Liverpool dropped points again. An absolute thriller with Tarkowski scoring in the last kick of the game, almost. The one thing, Josta, about the Premier League, when you watch it on SuperSport, is you're going to get entertained.
Yeah, I mean, Premier League is like unpredictable. You see, like, small teams like doing, always doing well when they're playing against the big teams. So you never know who's going to win. But for this one, I know that, Liverpool didn't win the last game. They drew. They playing at home. Obviously, like, and they're playing against the Wolves team that's on and off for me. As much as they won, like, their last 2 games, I still give it to Liverpool winning this one. And I'm going to put 1,000 Rand on Liverpool winning this one.
Okay.
Yeah. No, good bet. Good bet.
I'm giving 1,000.
Finally, you guys agree.
No,
I super sport bet on Liverpool beating Wolves.
No, I agree.
Let's go.
No, I agree. You know why? Because they wanted to open the gap when they play against Everton Wednesday night, but they couldn't. So now they'll be going at home to say, we want to do that.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think they're likely to bounce back. The thing is, with that Merseyside derby, it's a great leveler, isn't it?
Yeah.
And when Everton play Liverpool, they just up their game. And Moyes was actually saying after the match that they were so up for it last game at Goodison Park. So I agree with you. I think I also bet the draw on.
No. Good one. No. Man, No, I'm saying good one to your bet.
Oh,
Leave me
No, on
sixes and
Wednesday night.
sevens.
Don't worry about it. Right, Lucky, what are you going to do in the Premier League? A little birdie says you've been looking at my team, which is very brave.
And because you and I, we usually arrive early, have a little bit of coffee, cappuccino, chat. So I'm looking at Tottenham versus Manchester United at Tottenham. So I see Tottenham walking away with a win on this one. You know, because now, one thing I love about these teams, especially like you said in the EPL, playing at home. No, I'm not buying scale. Neil knows when we're suffering, we suffer together. But this one, I see Tottenham upsetting Man United, who's been on and off. And because I'm 100% sure of it, I'm going to put 500 Tottenham to beat Manchester United at home, and I super spot bet on it.
Yeah, but why you always put in the 5 clipper? Why are you taking 1,000 things?
Sometimes don't be excited. You have to gamble responsible so that the balance can stay healthy.
Quite right. Don't argue with a guy with 36,000 Rand in his account. I just wanted to have a look. I just wanted to check. No one's dipped into your wallet and taken 50 Rand out, have they?
No.
Just checking.
Not yet.
Not yet.
They mustn't take 50. I'll give them 5.
Oh,
yeah.
Just checking. I was just checking the bank there. I want to go over here because I'm also on the Premier League. The game I like is a very high-profile game. Manchester City, Newcastle. Now, having worked with Teco during the week, Teco's not in a good mood because, again, Manchester City couldn't manage that game. They were 1-0 up against Real. Then they conceded. Then they went 2-1 up. They lost 3-2. They've got problems. So I think there's some value in Newcastle here. But I'm going to take the market. I think it'll come up now. But the market that I'm interested in is the win on Newcastle when the draw is no bet. So if there's a draw between Manchester City and Newcastle, you get your money back.
Okay.
So essentially, I'm saying Manchester City won't win.
All
and
right.
I like the value on Newcastle. I actually was looking for Isak to score. Because to me, he's going to trouble that Manchester City defence that aren't great. So that's a possible option. But for me, I'm going to go and have a bet on Newcastle. Bet on them to win where draw no bet. So remember that. So you're taking a smaller price.
Okay.
But if it's a draw, it's a refund. No bet. So
refund.
draw no bet, Newcastle to win, and I'm going to have 1,000 Rand on that. I'm pretty confident that Newcastle will trouble a troubled Manchester City.
Guys, I
for
want
sure.
Man City.
1,000 Rand, and I super sport bet on it. What do you think about that? You all like?
Man City. They are upset because of what happened against Real.
Yeah.
Like you said, absolutely right. They were leading the game. You could even tell the face of Haaland. He was so disappointed when that third goal went in. But I like what you said. You say Isak will give them a problem because of his pace up front. So,
well, it's not just Isak. I mean, you've got Gordon up the left who runs circles around them. And Newcastle have really been in excellent form. I like them.
Yeah, now you're talking about a world-class team.
No, they used to be a world-class team. They're not a world-class team anymore. Have you looked at the lot?
But I'll still go for Man City if I was you. Don't regret it.
If I'd been going for Manchester City, my balance would be 0 by now. That isn't the Manchester
Good luck.
City
All I
of
can say is
old.
good luck.
Anyway,
Good luck,
it's time for us to say goodbye. We certainly agree on one thing, and that is it's another cracking weekend of live sport. In what world wouldn't you want to watch SuperSport and have a bet with SuperSport Bet, who are the proud sponsors of the Playbook? Have a great weekend.